I'm back with another educational beauty video. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to create this Selena Gomez makeup look. You're going to love it. You must have seen her recently with this look and it looks amazing. It was while she was at Fashion Week and I absolutely loved it. So I've recreated it using products that maybe you guys may already have, so stay tuned. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell button so that you never miss any of my future videos. And I'm over on Instagram, so please don't forget to come and say hi there. Now let's jump straight into this video. As always, we're starting with a clean base. I'm really excited about this look because I love it. Yeah, I have nothing on my skin. I'm going to get started with my skincare. My hair is like this because we are going to be doing the hair as well for the full look. So I'm going to be showing you what kind of products you can use to get that really nice sleek hairstyle. I'm going to start with my face and I'm using my Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. This is one of my all-time favorites when it comes to working on clients, and thankfully, they sent me over one for myself, which is great. Now, this stuff is pretty expensive. It's something like $67 for this size, so it's quite expensive. I'm going to put a little bit on now. This is just a really good kind of moisturizer and primer in one. It gives you a great base to apply your makeup. So I'm just smoothing this over. Now that we've got that on, I'm going to go in with the cream for my eyes. I've got the same one. It's the Vitamin Enriched Eye Base. So again, packed with nutrients. Not nutrients, like, you know, good stuff. Good stuff for your eyes. Well, for the skin around your eyes. Let's just smooth this over. There you go. We're going to get some really nice kind of like healthy skin underneath because the foundation look, the base looks pretty kind of not overly glowy, but you know, your skin looks good. So I really want to make sure we prep the skin well. Now I will be doing the whole kind of like base first and then moving to the eyes and then finishing off the base. So we're going to get started with our concealer. Because we're using quite kind of grayish colors on the eyes, I'm going to stick with a slightly lighter concealer for my lids. So I am just gonna buff this in. This is my Tarte Shape Tape and my Real Technique sponge. This is gonna give us a really nice even base ready for the eye makeup. Now to set this, we're gonna use the powder puff. As always, you've seen me do this a million times. We're gonna press the powder into the eyes. And this is now our kind of base done for the eyelids, and we're going to dust that off with the Real Techniques brush, and then now we are ready to apply eyeshadow. Before I go in with the foundation, I'm going to spray my face with my Charlotte Tilbury Magic Hydrator Mist. This is going to give me an added layer of hydration. I've mentioned this product several times in previous videos. Absolutely amazing. Packed with good stuff, which is just really good for your skin, and you get that constant hydration throughout. Right, now I've got my foundation. I'm going to put this on the back of my hand, and I really do want that really nice kind of Hollywood red carpet glow. So I'm going to mix in my Milk Hydro Grip in with my foundation. My foundation is the NARS Sheer Glow in Aruba. We're just going to mix that together. That's just going to like make this foundation a little bit more kind of like skin-like. Okay, now let's brush this on with my F47 brush. Okay, I'm going to do a little bit of contouring and blush, but I'm going to kind of sandwich it in a little bit because I don't want it to be so kind of harsh on top. So I've got my layer of foundation on. I am just going to sculpt a little bit. And we want a little bit of a lift. Flip it over and use the brush and just kind of like buff that in, keeping the shape the same. That brush is a little bit too big for my nose, so I'm going to be using my Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Complexion brush to just blend my nose area. Now I'm blending it, but I'm keeping it in the same place and just not like super blending it so it disappears. Just enough that it doesn't look super harsh. Now I'm going to apply my concealer, and again this is slightly brighter. Remember I mentioned slightly lighter than my skin tone. So these are all areas, you know, where I contoured with the darker shade that I can see that Selena Gomez has contoured. So they are kind of like similar to the areas she would contour. So I've got my sponge and nothing on my sponge. I am just kind of like, just buffing in everywhere that I've applied this, but keeping it in the same shape. We'll place Now I really wanted to have that primer mixed in with my foundation, which is why I did a layer of foundation to begin with and then went over with the concealer. And then I'm going to go over with whatever's left on my hand of that foundation just over my face. I'm kind of happy with that now, so I'm happy with that as my base. What I do want to do is add some blush. So I'm using my Sephora All-in-One Cream Blush. I think it's called All-in-One. And this is Daring Tangerine, back of a sponge. And I'm applying some right here. Because for this look, Selena has like quite kind of orangey blush on. And this is literally the perfect color on the peaks of the cheekbone up here. I can always go back and apply more if I want to at the end. So I might just leave this as it is. I'm just taking out any creases from my under eye area. We're going to go in with powder very quickly because I don't want it to like crease up. And I'm just kind of like applying it on this area here. So really close to the side of the nose. There you go, I'm happy with that. I'm gonna go a little bit on the forehead. Now I don't want to fully matte down the face, but I do want to shape it. So I'm not gonna be going too much, you know, like on the cheeks. I will go along these smile lines, but I will use a brush to spread the powder out. So I've got my Hourglass brush. And the way that I'm removing the powder, it will slightly go over the cheeks, but not so much that it becomes so matte that I can't apply any cream. In case I need to go back with blush. Just dusting away this powder. Now, we want the brows to be quite natural, but obviously when you have dark hair and they're sparse, it's hard to get natural hair like brows. So what we're going to be doing is brushing them up using the Benefit Fluff Up Brow Wax and then kind of like creating that feathered look. So I brush through it and then I press and then drag up, and that really kind of keeps them in place. You can see immediately the hairs are brushed up. When you do that, you do need to let this dry. So what we're going to do is just sculpt the face a little bit now. I'm just going to use the Sunstalker from Fenty. This is Islanding with my Hourglass brush, and I'm just going to sculpt the face a little. Kind of like going over the areas that I already kind of sculpted underneath, just to kind of enhance it just a little bit. I think we're kind of ready to do the brows now. So I'm going to get my Lime Crime Bushy Brow pen and I'm going to replicate the hairs in my brows. And then it will give me a good idea of kind of like where I need to maybe go in with like a pencil. So I'm going to get my Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil in 3.5 and great. That was great. Just dropped the lid. Okay, so I'm going to like draw some hair because I feel like I need more depth because the pen alone, because of like certain areas with no hair, isn't enough. So for me, I need to kind of like use the pencil in areas, but I like doing it with the pen first because it gives me an idea of kind of how much I need to go over with pencil. I feel like I'm pretty happy with the brows now because they're thick enough. They're not like too sharp either, based on my natural brow. Well, I wouldn't really call it natural, but I mean, you know, what I'm currently blessed with, which is not a lot. Let's get started on the eyes now. This is exciting. So I'm going to be using my Beauty Bay Neutral 42 Eye Color palette. Now, a lot of the time when I use grey on the eyes, it can end up looking a little blue because when you applied it on top of a kind of concealer base, it ends up going a little bit blue. So just bear that in mind. If you actually look at the picture of Selena Gomez, that whole look does look slightly blue as well. So it's kind of like this steel blue. But we're going for as close as we can and whatever we feel is working today. So I'm going to use my Sigma Firm shader brush, which is E57. I'm using the shade Sugar, and I'm going to apply this all over the lid, but kind of not going above my crease. So I am just pressing this on all over. There you go. Make sure it's nice and even, right? So I've covered the whole lid. Same on this side. I am going to take this into the lower lashes, but a very small amount, not a lot. And I'm using the tip of the brush for this. So not a lot. I don't want it to look really obvious. I'm going to use my finger and use the shade Mirror. And I'm going to kind of like dab on top of this. It has this very slight kind of blue tinge to it, which I like. Right, I'm going to get one of my favorite brushes, which is my E06 brush from Sigma. We're going to use the shade Jet, which is pretty black. Well, it is black. It's not pretty black, but I'm going to use this to shape that kind of section, which is like going from the inner corner into the crease a little bit. So, oh, I know this is going to tickle because this brush always tickles me. Oh, so right there. Now I want to make sure I look straight ahead. And then I'm going to gradually lift my brush so it's not pressing so hard. Right, now we've got the outline. Now we're going to basically come from that line and drag into the lid a little bit. We want to keep the shape pretty small. So I want to make sure that's really nice and sharp on the outline. Make sure it's fading into that color on the lid. So you're just doing small movements. Fade it in. Well, let's go ahead and do the same on this side. See how we do the outline first, and then when you want it to fade, you lift your hand a bit so that the pressure is less. So less pressure when you want it to fade into the color. I'm going to get a super tiny brush. This is the Sigma L04 brush. Nothing on this brush, but I'm just going to go over that black on either side. I'm not moving side to side. I'm just kind of like going over it to pick up any excess and also just to soften the line ever so slightly. There you go. I think that's a bit better now. I'm happy with that. We're going to go back into that black, and now we're going to do a very thin kind of liner, a lifted liner, which is slightly smoky. See, we've gone right from about a quarter of the way in from the end of the lash line. And then as we're dragging this line out, we're making sure we're looking straight ahead, because what that does is it gives you an idea of, you know, like where you want your kind of wing to end up. So I'm looking straight ahead, and it's lifting a little bit because that's where I like it to kind of like be. And the wing is kind of like slightly kind of like almost like feline. I'm gonna do the same on the other side. So from around a quarter of the way in, making sure I make it symmetrical. Okay, now I'm going to use my finger to just fade this out a little bit so it doesn't look so harsh. I'm going to go back in with that L04 brush, do the same thing. I'm just going to kind of like back and forth on the top of that wing just to soften it a little bit, you know, so it's just not so harsh. We are going to go back in with E06. And now I'm going to go into the lower lashes, like right into the lower lashes, because it's going to open up the eye a bit more. Fading in and then dragging out into this kind of like wing. I'm going to do the same on this side. You've got to obviously adjust it for your eye shape because it doesn't mean this exact way or how you see it on Selena Gomez is going to suit everyone. I'm going to very quickly curl my lashes. We're not putting any lashes on, we're putting mascara. I'm going to use my Benefit, what are these? They're Real Magnet Lashes Mascara. Do you know what I've just realised? I haven't even used any Rare Beauty in this. That's crazy. I didn't even think to, because it's not really about showing you the exact products that she used. It's really just showing you how to create that look. I'm putting mascara on and I feel like sneezing. Don't do it. Don't do it. Keep it in. Instead, my eyes are going to water. Oh man, I really feel like sneezing. Oh, this is annoying, isn't it? Woo. Don't do it. Eyes are watering, they're going. Please don't sneeze, please don't sneeze. I'm gonna use my Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk push-up lashes for the lower lashes, just because I feel like the brush isn't too big. I think we need just a little bit more blush, so I'm gonna use the back of my sponge and just apply a bit more of this. The same one that I applied earlier. I really love this blush. Now, my Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. This is 6. Got a little bit on the back of my hand. Gonna add some glow now, because she's got some nice glow on the skin. Okay, so now, I'm finally using Rare Beauty. This is in Joy. This is the tinted lip oil. I'm putting this on before I do my lip line. I'm going to show you why. Blot, Charlotte Tilbury Iconic Nude. It looks a lot softer. I think that might even be the exact color that she used because it looks very kind of like glossy. Lastly, the hair. Okay, let's get center part. I've got my tooth comb. Let's just get that nice center part. There you go. Right, I'm using my Slick Hair Wax Stick. This stuff is amazing. I am just gonna because I've got I just washed my hair today and now I'm just ruining it. So I'm gonna get a really nice slick top section. I don't have long hair, obviously. Right, okay, yeah, this is my Vegamore Hydrate Leave-In Conditioner. I love spraying this when I want to slick my hair. Obviously, I don't have long hair, like I mentioned, so we're gonna do this to suit short hair, and I'm doing it roughly because I really don't want to go crazy with loads of hair products, but it's just enough that we can see what it looks like. I might even just tie it back because honestly, I'm not feeling it all down. I'm happy with that. This is my finished Selena Gomez look. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope this is something that you're going to try out yourself. I think it's pretty easy. It's still nice and kind of fresh, got some nice glowing skin and that nice smoky eye. So I hope you've enjoyed it wherever you are in the world. Sending you loads of love. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell button so that you never miss any of my future videos. Until the next video, take care and I'll see you soon.